Hello, hello, ladies. I can see some familiar names. Thanks for joining me today. I'm pretty excited about this webinar. I've been working hard on it for the last few days. I've done a lot of practice runs. Oh, I see someone's found the chat window. Hi, Megan. We're just going to hang tight for a few minutes to give everyone a chance to join us. So a little look around Zoom if you haven't used it before. Hi, Tracy. I was actually going to tell you about the chat window at the bottom, but I can see a lot of you have found it. If you grab your mouse cursor over the bottom of the Zoom window, you'll see a chat button with a little speech bubble. You can just click on that and say a little hello to me, as a few of you have already have. Hi, Kate. So we're just going to hang tight for a few minutes until everyone joins us. Say a little hello in the chat window. Tell me where you're from. There's going to be time for Q&A at the end as well. So if you're thinking of questions as I'm speaking, you can type in the chat window. Oh, hey, Trace. So as I'm talking, you can type in questions, or if you want, you can wait till the very end, and I'll be answering all the questions then. Where's everyone else from? Tell me where you're from. This is it. I'll type in the chat window so you know. Brisbane. Woo, me too. It's nice and rainy today. Adelaide. Another Brisbane. Perth. Rockhampton. How fun is this? Melbourne. Whoa, Canada. Hello in Canada, Jody. Okay, we'll give everyone a couple more minutes. Another thing with Zoom is if for some reason you become unmuted during the call, bottom left-hand corner is your mute button to re-mute yourself, just so there's not a lot of distracting noise happening in the background. We'll just wait another minute or so. This is only my second ever webinar, so I'm hoping that the technology gods are kind to me today. Just a reminder, if you just joined us, that towards the end there will be a Q&A section. So if you have any questions while I'm going through my slides and talking, feel free to type them into the chat window and I'll answer all the questions at the end. Yes, I love Zoom. I use it for everything. Okay, I think we might be right to kick off. So I've got a bunch of slides that I'm actually going to share with you all. So I'm going to disappear for a little bit. The content will probably take about 20 to 30 minutes. And at the end, as I mentioned, I will pop back up and you'll get to see my beautiful face again. And we will answer the questions at the very end. So I'm going to kick off now and start sharing my screen and start working through the slides. So I'll see you at the end. Okay. There you go. You should be able to see my slides now. So a big hello to everyone. I'm Anna Dower. Thanks so much for joining my webinar today. I'm a multi-passionate businesswoman, just like most of you. I'm the chief boss lady at Design with Style, which is my design business. I'm also a mama to two beautiful little divas. So in a nutshell, I'm a pretty busy lady. I'm juggling a lot of stuff. So before we dive into today's webinar, I want to give you a little look at my journey from being a Mac monkey to being a designer boss. So I started my design career when I was 18, and I spent 10 years working in a design agency. I spent those 10 years designing, in inverted commas, real estate ads. It was not fun. It was not creative. But there was actual comfort in being really ace at something, if that makes sense. It was my comfort zone, basically, and I stayed there for way longer than I should have. Well, then, when I got pregnant with my first child, I craved freedom and flexibility. And that's when I decided to start my own business. I did actually no foundational work before I started that business. It was just an idea. I often tend to have ideas and then act on them. But this business ended up morphing into a stationery business unintentionally. I basically would have done any work for any clients just for money. I had no idea who my ideal client was. I didn't have a design niche. I just was doing it for the cash, basically. And that being said, I worked freaking hard. I remember working 7 days a week in that business. I remember replying to emails at 11 o'clock at night. It was crazy. It wasn't even work I liked, and I wasn't even making that much money. So eventually, after a couple of years of doing the hard slog, I decided no more. And I sold that business. I sold that stationery business for 4 figures, which I thought was pretty good considering I'd only been doing it for 2 to 3 years. And it wasn't something I was totally passionate about. Then once that was done and dusted, I decided that I wanted to focus on branding for female entrepreneurs because they were the clients I loved working with. They were the people who lit me up, basically, and made me want to be a better designer. So once that shift happened, I created a digital magazine called Raw. Raw was a success in its own right. I'm not sure if you know, but Raw was a digital magazine, still is a digital magazine. But when I was the big boss lady, it was available on all Virgin domestic flights via the entertainment app. So as you can imagine, that opened me up to a massive new audience. And Raw had its own podcast as well, which was also available on all of the Virgin Australia domestic flights. So it was a very successful business. We did retreats, we did events. It turned into its own force. And the whole idea behind creating that digital magazine was to target my ideal audience, which was female entrepreneurs. So the digital magazine was created to become a sales funnel for my design business. And it worked wonders. It sent so much design work to my design business. It positioned me as an expert. And it opened so many doors for me, and it helped me grow massively. But as all things, it kind of overtook my life, and I lost my role as a designer and a mentor. So I decided to sell Raw, which was pretty good considering it started off as a freebie that was just meant to be a part of my sales funnel. I sold Raw magazine for 5 figures. And now that brings me to today, where I get to work 4 days a week. I work from 9 till 3 each day. I work in my design business. I work as a mentor. I get to hang out with you guys in the Facebook group. And I earn 6 figures in my businesses. I learned by trial and error, just like you guys. And to be honest, there was way more error than I would have liked. I would have given anything to have a mentor to show me the easy way. That's why I'm here today, ready and willing to give you guys all my secrets, not just in the webinar, but also via my one-on-one mentoring, my e-course, Design Biz Bootcamp, and the Facebook group. So, just like you, I don't have the time or patience to deal with time wasters, button pushers, tire kickers, and drama queens. They all come under the banner of ain't nobody got time for that. Because let's be real with each other here. Running a business is freaking hard. It can be rewarding, but it can also be lonely, frustrating, challenging, terrifying, and exasperating. Yep, I got 99 problems, but guess what? Difficult clients ain't one. Which brings me to the point of this webinar today. You're here to learn about how to deal with difficult clients. Because whether you've been running your design business for a decade or a day, it's inevitable that you will eventually interact with somebody that is challenging. And that's an understatement. So, those challenging clients I'm talking about are the ones that move deadlines around, ignore your project timeline, give you negative and non-constructive feedback, and call you at all hours of the day and night. There are 99 ways a client can give you grief. So, how do you handle difficult clients? Or better yet, how do you make sure clients never become difficult in the first place? Well, that's why we're here today. I'll be walking you through 5 of my tried and tested strategies that you can take into your business today to ensure that even if you have 99 problems, difficult clients ain't gonna be one. But before we dive in, I want to make sure you hang out until the very end of the webinar, because I'm going to be offering you guys a special bonus that you won't want to miss out on. It's a bonus valued at $250, so hang in there. Also, just a reminder that I'll be doing some Q&A at the very end, so keep all your burning questions tucked away. So let's dive into strategy number 1. Make it crystal clear who you work with and who you don't work with. So I'm going to kick off with some tough love because that's how I roll. If you're attracting annoying, difficult clients into your business, it is almost certainly your fault. I know that hurts, but the fact that they're annoying in the first place isn't necessarily your fault, but the fact that they think your business is the right place to channel their annoyingness is your fault. You see, your website, brand, voice, and visuals and communications all portray a certain image. When I started out, my branding was screaming, "We'll work for Cocoa Pops." Then I was surprised when a bunch of discount divas and problematic princesses flocked to my business. But it was my fault they were attracted to my business. I had unintentionally been sending out the message that they were my ideal client. Not the high-paying, gratitude-drenched boss ladies that I work with now. Not the ones that I wanted to attract. So the solution. It took me a while to figure this out, but I finally realized that if I could do what I was already doing for my clients, creating targeted, strategic, and authentic brands that reflected my clients' true values, then I'd be in the money. I'd get the amazing results that my clients were getting, but for me. It's just like the chef that goes home and orders takeaway. It's so easy for us to put our own branding off. We use excuses like, "I'll just wait till all my client work is done," or I'll wait till I have a spare moment. But I'm telling you, neither of those things will happen. You need to make time for your business now. I know. I know what you're thinking. How could I be expected to whip up a killer brand for my own business after I spent all day working on clients' brands? I know it seems impossible, but if you're willing to make the impossible possible, then I promise you great things will happen. Because when you put in the work, you'll find that those high-paying, problem-free clients you've been craving will flock to your virtual doors. So your mission, if you choose to accept it, after this webinar, go back to brand basics. Your ideal client, what you stand for, your vision, message, essence, all of it. And just like you would for your dream client, spend some time creating a visual brand that is absolutely bloody magnetic. And you get bonus points if you create a website with content that actually tells your audience what type of clients you want to work with. Triple points if you take the time to tell them who you're not suited for. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but you'd be surprised how much people appreciate you making it crystal clear for them. And if you need help creating an influential, persuasive, and authentic brand for your own business, make sure you hang out till the end of this webinar because I've got that juicy bonus for you. So, ladies, let's recap to make it crystal clear who you work with and who you don't work with. Strategy 2, go above and beyond to communicate how you work. When I was starting out as a newbie designer, I expected my clients to just know what the deal was. You hire me to create really cool designs. You don't hire me to read your mind. So you can imagine my shock when I had an array of clients with no freaking clue what the deal was. They were emailing, texting, calling me at all hours of the day with last-minute changes, minor tweaks, major adjustments, whatever their clueless little souls desired. And because I didn't know any better, I did it. I did it all. I put up with it. I wasted a whole lot of time and money, theirs and mine, and silently resented that I seemed to be working with an entire population of imbeciles. But with experience comes wisdom. And after a while, I realized that it wasn't their fault they were walking all over me. I was letting them do it. Hell, I was rolling on the ground beckoning them to do it. So the solution, it sounds fancy and complex, but a client communication plan is just bite-sized pieces of communication that lets your clients know how everything is going to go down. For me, this looked like the process section of my website. And in this section, I broke down how I work into easy to digest snippets. So before they hired me, my clients knew what to expect. I also have a streamlined series of email templates that I use for the whole process, from quote to presentation and feedback, to guide my interactions with my clients so I know I'm covering everything I'm meant to be. These simple changes have made a massive impact on my business. My clients now feel informed and cared for, and I feel calm and control. And that's how you should feel in your business. I don't have any midnight text messages, no drama, no problems, just cool clients that love what I do. So, your to-do list. Clearly communicate your process step by step on your website. If you have a look at my website, designwithstyle.com.au, you will see how I've created the process really clearly for them. Create email templates so that you can reuse them for all different clients and it's already done for you for the process. Include FAQs in your price list. This is important. Answer all their questions and really clearly communicate that you're going to make the whole process smooth for them. Now, if you join my e-course, Design Biz Bootcamp, you will receive all the templates that I use in my own business to communicate with my clients. I don't think it gets any easier than that. Okay, now we're up to strategy 3. And it's all about boundaries. You've got to set those boundaries, baby. Something I've learned from my 30-something years on the planet is that humans are a precocious lot. We're not happy with the status quo. We have to push and invent and reinvent until we feel like we're progressing. Which is why, as designers, we really shouldn't take it personally when our clients try to push our boundaries. Those late night text messages I mentioned, requesting just one more round of changes when you've already done triple the amount of changes you said you would. Making you wait 2 months for feedback, then demanding the final edits to be sent within 24 hours. We've all dealt with that. This is classic boundary pushing. And now, some more tough love. If your clients believe they can get away with it, they will. Which is why, because you're an awesome designer boss lady, you're not going to let them get away with it anymore. This doesn't mean that you fire your clients. Instead, there's a calmer and way more peaceful way to approach this. Expect your clients to push your boundaries, just like a toddler, basically. Expect it to happen. And just like you expect there to be traffic at peak hour and the shopping center to be absolutely mental at Christmas, put a plan in place to deal with it. Reduce how it impacts you. In my business, I've learned that by putting in some checks and measures before I start work, I can virtually guarantee that the rest of the project will flow smoothly. This includes creating an easy-to-read welcome kit that outlines expectations of them and you, as well as project timelines and checklists. And best of all, you only need to set it up once, and then you can reuse it for all of your future projects. Let me just take a sip of my coffee. I'm losing my voice. Once again, if you want the inside scoop on my welcome kit that I use in my business, it will be available in Design Biz Bootcamp as a template. This will save you trying to figure it all out on your own and will definitely accelerate your business processes. Strategy number 4. I know this is one that causes a lot of fear. This is going to be super short and sweet. It's tough love time. If you want to prevent time wasters and problem magnets from being attracted to your business, you need to raise your rates. It is seriously as simple as that. It's a weird rule of the universe, but the more people pay for something, the less likely they are to complain and cause problems. I know you'd think it'd be the opposite, but after 10 years in business, it has shown me that the single best way to cut out time wasters is by charging more. It might feel uncomfortable even to think about increasing your prices, but I want you to bear with me. I urge you to increase your prices by at least 20%. Deep breaths, no heart attacks. You just have to give it a go for a few months. See what happens. And when some high-flying, high-caliber clients come heading your way, you can thank me later. So, your to-do list. Create a comprehensive and persuasive price list with your new pricing. If you haven't already downloaded it from my website, annadower.com, if you go to the free resources section, you can download a sales kit template, which is basically a really fancy price list. So it's pretty much all done for you. You just need to include your own copy and pricing. Now, the final strategy, and this one's a biggie: exude confidence. So I want to tell you about a bit of a conversation I heard the other day. I was taking my car to the mechanic to get it serviced, and there was a young mechanic being harassed by an older woman who was dropping her car off. He said to her, "I think it'll take maybe 2 hours." And she was not happy with his response. She said to him, "You think? Are you asking me or telling me, young man?" And it was mega awkward standing behind her. You see, and this really portrays how confidence can be a game changer. If he had said to her, "Your repairs will take 2 hours," the lady would have likely nodded and been on her merry way. But the fact that he said "think" and "maybe," and then ended the sentence with a question, it didn't really encourage confidence in her. She started thinking about his age and could she really trust him with her car, and why wouldn't he know how long it would take? Don't they do this all the time? It kind of went into a spiral. All of that just from one sentence. So, can you see how something so innocuous can have such a big impact on a brand's reputation and perceived value? And this is happening in your business too. The reason why you're probably attracting problem clients is because they can sense that you doubt your awesomeness, talent, and expertise. There's some tough love for you. If there's just one thing you can take away from this webinar, let it be this: you are an awesome designer and you need to own it. Now, I want you to go out there and radiate your brilliance. Let there be no doubt in your mind that you know your shit, because seriously, you do. And you're great at what you do. I truly believe that we attract what we put out. If we demand respect because we respect ourselves, then our clients will naturally treat us the same way. So your solution: demand respect because you respect yourself. Not everyone is creative. Not everyone can design. This is your gift. So your to-do list: toot your own horn. And you can do that by putting testimonials everywhere: Facebook page, website, email newsletters. Show your tribe how smart you are with blog posts educating them, webinars, emails. Remember to let them know how awesome you are. Be mindful of your language. Is it confident? Don't use words like think and maybe. And lastly, work on your mindset. This is different for everyone. I work on my mindset by reading books. I love Gabby Bernstein. Her name escaped my brain for a moment. I love reading her books. Some people work on their mindset by doing meditation or yoga. Whatever helps you work on your confidence mindset, do it. So, in summary, if you want less problematic clients, here's what I recommend you do. 1, make it crystal clear who you do and don't want to work with. 2, communicate how you work. Basically, treat your potential new clients as people who have no clue what the design process is. 3, set boundaries and stick to them. 4, charge more. 5, believe in your business and exude that shit. Woo, that was a lot of info. Thanks for hanging in there to the end. We're nearly at Q&A time. So if you have any questions, pop them in the chat window now. Now we're at bonus time. Woo! So your special bonus for showing up to this live webinar and hanging out to the end is I would love to give you a one-on-one 60-minute mentoring session with me if you sign up to my e-course, Design Biz Bootcamp, before midnight tonight. This mentoring session is worth $250, and we will chat about the biggest struggles in your business and how we can inject some joy and help you work smarter. You can use this free session at any point during the e-course, so you get some special one-on-one time with me to work through things clearer. So if you're ready to accelerate your design business, which you obviously are because you're here, this e-course is a must. The e-course is going to make your life so much easier. You will create a business filled with awesome clients and big money within 6 weeks, instead of taking years on your own to figure it out. I have proven results. Designers who have worked with me have reached their income goals within weeks. They work less hours on client work, and they actually love the work they're doing. This could be you too. So, Design Biz Bootcamp is $698, and I know that number may scare you, but think of the real world investment. You just need to sell one design package to cover the cost, and I think that's super achievable. So just to tell you again, the bonus, if you sign up for Design Biz Bootcamp before midnight tonight, you will get a free one-on-one 60-minute mentoring session with me. That means you save $100 for the early bird, and you get the bonus session worth $250. All you need to do is use the code WebinarBoss when you purchase the e-course. Now, we have time for some Q&A. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and say hello to you all again. Hello, I'm here. So now's the time to type in some questions. I see there are some questions. Let me just have a quick read. Okay, Kate asks, could you share some email templates? I think you sent a few in an email before. Yes, Kate, if you go to my website, annadower.com, and you go to the free resources section, you can download all of the email templates there. I think there's 5 in there. Megan, good, you love the email templates. More would be epic. If you join the e-course, you will get everything that I use in my own business. Emily, what language do you use with clients around the expected wait time for their feedback? Okay. So I mentioned the welcome kit in the boundaries section. In my welcome kit, I actually have dates for every single step of the process. So I have a project timeline, and I let them know when they're going to receive concepts from me. And I also include a date of when I expect to hear feedback from them. So I basically keep them on like a really tight lead. And then every single email I send them reminds them. I add a PS to every single email saying, just a reminder, as per the welcome kit, your feedback is due on this date. And that welcome kit actually has an agreement section where they have to say they have read and agreed to everything in that welcome kit. And as I mentioned, that welcome kit is part of Design Biz Bootcamp, where you actually get the whole thing. You just need to edit it for your own business, basically. And that's worked really, really well for me. Tracy, for draft reviews, do you meet in person, Skype, or email? My whole business is online. I rarely speak to or see clients, and this is what I prefer. So for feedback, my clients write it in an email. Any other questions? Let me just have a scroll through to make sure I haven't missed anything. How does everyone feel about charging more? Okay, Michelle, I'm dealing with a committee at the moment and it's so hard to get them to all agree and make a decision. I'm stuck with how to deal with them. Yeah, that's really hard. To be honest, in the past I've worked with massive corporations and they're actually way more difficult to deal with. So I would be inclined to think if they make you question if they're actually your ideal client. It's really hard to control a client that's made up of loads of people. All I can suggest is sending them a project timeline and trying to get them to stick to it and actually sign off on it. Let me see. Rebecca, what do you suggest for salvaging relationships for difficult clients? I've been working with them for a while, but didn't start out with a welcome kit, but want to set boundaries moving forward. The really good thing, Rebecca, is it's a new financial year soon. So that's a really great way of resetting boundaries and pricing. So I would be inclined to say, my prices are increasing by X amount in the new financial year, and I'm getting all my clients to sign and agree to this welcome kit moving forward. Lisa, would the bootcamp suit me? I'm a web designer and developer. Definitely it would suit you. I actually think it would suit anyone in business. But it is definitely aimed towards designers, but designer, developer, I think it would definitely suit you. Sarah, on the last queue, has a client ever wanted to meet with you in person? What do you say? I love sticking to just emails, so I've recently added a $150 fee for meetings. That's awesome, Sarah. If a client wants to meet me, I tell them, sure, I offer a brand audit, which is a meeting that costs X amount. And then I give them an option, or we could have a free Skype chat for 15 minutes. It pretty much just gets rid of the time wasters. If someone doesn't want to pay to actually meet you and pay for your time, you don't want to work with them anyway. Otherwise, offer like a free 15-minute Skype chat and make it super clear it's 15 minutes only. And yes, Sarah, that's awesome that you added a fee for meetings. I think that's really good. Kate, what if the client has an export manager for their brand product who is giving them design? Oh, that sucks. Who is giving them design advice which contradicts what you're telling them. Okay. Yeah, that's really hard. In my welcome kit, where I list expectations, I make it clear that I encourage my clients to to make the design decision on their own, instead of getting outside feedback, because in the past, that's where things have gotten really messy. I think, Kate, perhaps you haven't positioned yourself as an expert and been assertive enough. And that's why this export manager is kind of walking all over you. I know that doesn't solve your problem, but it gives you food for thought moving forward. I think you need to exude more confidence. And if you don't agree, stand up to them and tell them why. Tell them why everything you've done in your design is intentional. I don't think a lot of people understand how intentional designers are. They think we just throw crap together to make it look pretty. Explain it to them. Okay. Rebecca. So your prices have doubled for the new year already. Great idea. That's awesome. Yep. Make everyone agree to a welcome kit in the new financial year. Kate, you're probably right. As like Rebecca, we never have an agreement at the beginning of the relationship. It's never too late to get them on board, especially the new financial year is a great opportunity to get everyone to go through the onboarding process again. As I mentioned, all of this is in Design Biz Bootcamp. I'm telling you, this e-course is going to make your life easier. You're going to work less. You're going to have clients who respect you. You're going to make more money. Any other questions while I sip my coffee? No? Rebecca. I'm worried about running out of time. How much time per week does boot camp take? Boot camp's going to take 1 hour a week, which is nothing. Absolutely nothing. You can fit that in. And I'm going to keep everyone accountable in the Facebook group. We're going to have a separate Facebook group for e-course members where I will be in there every day, every week, pushing everyone along. An hour is not a lot of time to make a huge difference in your business. We will also be doing live Q&As each week. Also, if you feel overwhelmed, you will have access to the e-course for 12 months. Karina, do you include legal document examples in Bootcamp? You will receive a template of my own terms and conditions. But that being said, I'm not a lawyer. I always have to say that disclaimer. Any other questions? Okay, I think we're all good. Unless you've got a question, type it in there now. So Design Biz Bootcamp, early bird ends tonight, midnight. Save $100, get a free one-on-one with me. Will I be offering this again soon, the e-course? Oh no, Tracy. The other e-course wasn't for designers. I can't imagine me offering this again for at least another 6 months, and it will not be at this price. It will be more money next time. There are payment plans. You can pay it off in 4 installments. Bianca. I think your message got cut off. I'd love to purchase it I think. Seriously, all you need to do is lock in one more design package and it pays for the e-course. And you will reach your income goals after 6 weeks. I can't urge you guys enough. Sorry, Bianca, did your message get cut off? I don't know. Oh, there we go. Michelle, I'm frantically invoicing clients to get some cash so I can sign up. You can do 4 payment installments. You only need to pay 1 when you sign up, which is $198, I think. Bianca. Yeah, it's going to cost more next time. And I won't be as active in the next round. And this time you get the free one-on-one with me as well. Karina, would you have different welcome kits and emails if you were thinking working for a studio versus clients? Yes, definitely. You would have 2 separate welcome kits. Any other questions? I will be sending out a recording of this webinar this afternoon. So if there's anything you want to re-listen to or anything you missed, it should be in your inbox this afternoon. Okay, I'll just wait another minute or so. Thanks, Tracy. Thanks, Rebecca. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Emily. Thanks, Karina. Woo, Rebecca, signing up. I can't wait to work with you. Kate, thank you. Thank you. You're awesome too. Thanks, Chantel. If you're not a part of the Designer Boss Ladies group on Facebook, you should be. I just threw that in there for anyone that's not. Oh, good. I'm so glad it's helpful. Megan, we'll have to watch the replay. Oh, phone calls are out. No worries. I'll send it over this afternoon. Awesome. Thanks, Emily. Ah, Sarah, your course is dirt cheap to get your skills and experience. Yes, that's why everyone should sign up now, because it's going to be much more in the next round. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, guys, I think that's it. Oops, more. For some of us who don't know about your credentials, is it possible to stalk you somewhere? You can stalk me on my website, annadower.com. You can also watch the replay of this webinar where I talk you through my whole journey, my whole business journey. Jade, thanks, Anna. Can you do the course in your own time, or do you need to be online at certain times? You can do it in your own time. All you need is 1 hour a week to do it whenever you can. The link, Tracy. Yes, I will type it in. Oops. Oops. Can't type. There we go. Awesome. More. Rebecca, if you have time, can you work ahead or will you sort of release a bit? Okay, so the e-course is actually going to be drip fed. So you get a new module each week. I've done that on purpose so you don't get overwhelmed and so that we can all focus on the same thing in the same week. But that being said, if you don't get it all done in 6 weeks, you have access to it for 12 months and you can work through it as fast or as slow as you like. Okay. I've put the link now in the chat window if you want to click through. Oh, awesome, Rebecca. It's cheaper than you thought thanks to dollar conversion. Yeah, thank you, Australian dollar. Awesome, Karina. I can't wait to work with you as well. It's so worth it. It starts on Monday, 6th of June, and will go for 6 consecutive weeks. Just in time for new financial year. So you'll be able to send out all your new welcome kits. You'll have all your email templates. You'll have your new pricing. You'll have your new brand. And it's a tax write-off. I'll just wait a couple more minutes in case there's any other questions. Would it also be helpful if I provided the slides from today in a PDF? Okay, I will do that. Yes, okay, I'll definitely, I'll add that in the email this afternoon for the replay. Okay, guys, I think that's all the questions. Yeah, okay, I'll add the slides as a download. Awesome, Emily. This is fun. We should do more things like this more often. Awesome. Okay, guys, I think I'm done. I'll send you an email this afternoon with the replay and the slides. And please join me in boot camp. It's going to be so much fun. I promise you. Okay, guys, see ya.